Nox. And to be honest, a very entertaining game here between Giants and MYM. Maurice, I want to start with you because you were, well, frankly, face-palming when you saw the Rek'Sai ban and then the Nidalee first pick led through for MYM and Giants not reacting.
Yeah, exactly. When I saw the Rek'Sai ban, was 100% certain that MYM is aiming for a Nidalee first pick. And that Nidalee first pick going through is so crucial because right now, how I value the jungle matchups is that Nidalee beats everyone and Rek'Sai beats everyone but Nidalee. So what happens as soon as Rek'Sai is out of the picture, there's even less counterplay for Nidalee, and Nidalee has free roam to do whatever she wants to, especially in the Jarvan matchup now that he's nerfed a bit. He has less sustain in the jungle, he's going to be weaker, he's going to be low HP, and which basically gives Nidalee all the options in the world, and that going through is really crucial.
Yeah, and on the same token, Giants just didn't have enough damage. The rest of the team composition had 2 damage threats from LeBlanc in the middle to Ezreal AD carry. It's non-traditional, it's not something we see often. I was expecting it to go middle lane if they were going to consider a double AD comp. And from the very early game, the lane swap, which was started by Giants, didn't go in their favor, and it actually worked out. It actually worked out in favor of MeetYourMakers. I mean, they took advantage of the lane swap. Had it been a Graves Annie, I think it would have been better for Giants, but it wasn't, and the early game, I think, went to MeetYourMakers.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Due to how the lane swap worked out, basically, even if it was in a 2v2 lane, the outscaling of Corki and Leona against Ezreal Annie would have been crucial. But since it was a lane swap, like Corki scales even harder, he's going to hit his Turfus boss spike, while the enemy tank line is going to be weaker because he's going to be starved, as we saw like Willip getting killed on a gank from Noxiac. And that's the kind of stuff you want to achieve when you have Corki in lane swap, and they really did well there.
Talk me through the early jungle buys for the champions. Nidalee going for the Stalker's Blade and Skirmishers for Jarvan, even with the change now, knowing that it will cost a decent amount of gold, 225 if you want to change it on tier 2. How did you agree with the choices?
I could see the Skirmishers working for J4 because he was camping mid lane, basically trying to get as many kills as possible there, while basically shutting down a possible counterplay, because like Skirmishers basically allows you to mitigate 20% of the enemy's damage, the guy you smite, and that basically like allows for free 2v2s. Vice versa, I don't agree as much with the Stalker's Blade because I feel it's a waste of a buy, because as Nidalee, you're gonna get into Q range, like into Q range, way before you got into Chilling Smite range. So I don't see any kind of application besides like late game chasing or something like that. When you have like like Ezreal getting Chilling Smite before he E's, while having like the Q on him, the mark of Nidalee on him. That's the kind of application I can see. But other than that, I don't agree as much with the Stalker's Blade. I would have liked to see a Trailblazer there.
And the smite range has been nerfed now as well, so it's extra difficult for Nidalee. Let's actually take a look at one of the team fights where the Giants try and make a stand and push the mid turret for MYM, and how the team play works out.
Exactly. Giants is trying to counteract like the mid turret loss that they suffered earlier, and they see Corey bottom, hence they try to like siege the turret. But Noxiac does a really good engage with his ultimate and basically allows his team to follow up. Like even Corey is able to get into the team fight at the end and chase down 2 targets, which is Annie and Ezreal, and it was just overstaying by Giants and overcommitting to a certain extent. I felt like they were lost in direction-wise. They didn't know what to do. And seeing Corey bottom basically like made their brains click and just be like, well, we lost the mid turret, we want to counter that. And it doesn't work if you're first off low HP, which they were at the turret, and second off if you're versus hard engage.
Yeah, and something else that I really liked about that play, Noxiac caught 4 people with a solar flare. He was responsible for the first blood that MeetYourMakers picked up. Noxiac's roams on Leona were a lot more impactful than we've seen out of Nisbet, who was playing in previous weeks. It is against the number 9 team in the league as well, so take that with a pinch of salt. But as the game progressed, you contrast Noxiac to Rydell. Rydell was what, 0-7, 0-8, 0-9 towards the end of the game.
Not a good game.
His Annie engages with flashes, with his flash tippers, were simply ill-timed, ill-placed, ill-positioned. And I didn't feel the same about Noxiac. So I think for his first showing in a team that's struggling in the 10th position, a lot of praise has to go to that guy for doing the work that he did.
Yeah, absolutely. And well, MYM and Noxiac, they did very well. Good in the early game, a little bit indecisive in the mid game, got back in there. But Giants was never really out, in part thanks to Pepinero going absolutely huge on LeBlanc. Let's actually take a look at the second replay we have lined up for you guys, because here it looked like it was going to turn.
Yeah, the thing that really stands out for me here is notice how Werlib and Pepinero are trying to focus down Horo and Corey. They got both of them with the knockup. There's a lot of AoE that comes out from Audrey. And because of the fact that MeetYourMakers lose Corey so early on, and they were forced into retreat, it allows Giants to clean this one up. Mr. Rolls and Horo, they didn't get early poke down, they didn't get early damage onto Giants carries, and they ended up coming up worse for it. They lose the team fight and they lose the Dragon.
Yeah, and well, finally, crucial win here for MYM, who seem to have woken up just in time.
Yes, there's 3 weeks left. Well, 2.5 weeks left now. Giants are now 4-9. 4 wins, 9 losses. MYM 3 wins, 10 losses. There's 1 game that separates them. Roccat 4-8, and Elements 5-7. What this means with the 2 or a 3 game buffer between each of these teams at the bottom of the table, there is a very, very real chance that MeetYourMakers can climb their way out of 10th position. More importantly, the possibility of knocking the likes of Roccat, the likes of Elements, into the promotion tournament, depending on how those losses rack up. So for MYM, it's about picking up wins in the next few weeks, and for all the other teams in that area, it's about not giving them up to the teams below you.
And especially not MYM. Thank you very much. Coming up next is a battle for 3rd place as both H2K and Gambit Gaming look to keep their 3-week win streaks alive. But before we go, we'll hear from some familiar faces looking for a fresh start on the LCS stage.
My name is Enrique, my nickname is Expeke. I play for Team Origin as a mid laner. I think I have been 3 or 4 years saying Fnatic pretty much, and now saying I play for Origin feels really weird. Feels like I'm not even playing the same game. From the beginning, at first, it was really hard to choose a name. Origin means beginning in Spanish. So this idea of making my own team is an idea I have had for a long time. Probably two years ago, maybe 3. This last year, after the season ended and I saw the team was not gonna stay the same because Sinai wanted to retire. Reckless was not sure if he would leave the team or go to Alliance. He was not sure. I decided that it was the perfect time for me to go on this new journey of making the team from zero. Obviously, when I reached Mithi, I knew that he had a past, that he was actually banned at that time.
I have a shady past, one could say, and I felt that the best way for me to start from scratch on a team with respected players and show that anyone can change and I'm different to what people think of me.
But for the top laner, he was still in Fnatic at that time, and he was not sure himself what he was gonna do or what he wanted to do.
It was a good opportunity to prove to people that we can qualify to LCS and still play good, even though we are like the old guys from League of Legends.
I asked other AD carries, I even asked Reckless, I remember, which AD would you think would be the best? And he told me, if you go with this guy Niels, I'm pretty sure you guys will qualify because I think he will be one of the best.
I thought about like everything, I had other offers too, from LCS teams or challenge teams too, and I thought that overall that this was my chance to a good team with good players and good personalities.
The same thing that happened with everyone happened with Amazing. We looked for advice from other players. I talked to Björksen. He asked him for a recommendation, what he thought of him. Yeah, eventually we decided we wanted to take him in.
I feel like right now I'm like trading up from mid laners to mid laners. Like first off, I start with Kautat, who had like, he was not really famous. Then I switched to Björksen, who has like 400k followers on Twitter. And then I go to Pekka, I'm like, okay, that guy's even bigger.
Getting to LCS is the #1 priority, and for me it's actually the only priority. I don't look more than that at the moment. Like people think, when people say, oh, they're gonna be a top team or they are not gonna be a top team and they go into ARCs, I honestly don't even think about it. It's not that I don't care, I just don't think about it. So I'm really looking forward to it because it's gonna be going back to LCS with a different team. I really want to see how we do there because I think we could do really good. I think playing Fnatic back in LCS is gonna be weird because it's gonna be a high-thought match because people is gonna look into the not the whole team but also the mid lane matchup, and it's gonna be really scary for me. I think I'm gonna be nervous on that game. I think it's gonna be exactly the same to them. They are not gonna want to lose to the whole team because they know the fans are gonna eat them if they lose. In the end, the name, what's gonna make the name is gonna be the brand, the players, how everything goes, and Origin is a cool name to start with. It's a new beginning, it's starting from zero. So I think that was the perfect fit, and it didn't matter what. Eventually, if we did good, the name itself will become a brand.
4 of us have been to Worlds, so like that's obviously the highest goal, and it's only to be achieved by going to LCS and qualifying from there.
I think it's a new start, new team, new start, new organization, your own thing, then you're more motivated to play.
I'm really trying hard to keep competing, to be the best at my position, to show everyone that I'm still good at the game.
I'm just trying to learn from everyone and just trying to be the best I can be.
There's this German word, Sehnsucht, which basically describes it. I want to be there. When I see it, I just want to be playing, I want to be competing. I think we can be one of the, or even the best team in Europe.
I don't know, it's quite exciting that it's like a new adventure because I'm not sure how it's gonna end or where it's gonna go exactly.